Get that Leo duck. Leon duck? Alright, so there's Chronicles. I do have my hack PS3, but I have to. I'm not. I don't. I think it's the same thing. It looks. That's what it's really looking like. Yeah. Yes, I heard that. You heard that correctly.
I don't see any monsters.
Yeah.
Just in case, we better check upstairs.
That's Zero.
The Umbrella Management Training Facility.
The first general manager, James Marcus.
You know him?
Just the name. He's been dead for some time now.
Friendly looking guy. Even dead, he has quite a presence.
But they're talking.
Attention, this is Dr. Marcus. Please be silent as we reflect upon our company motto.
Huh.
Obedience breeds discipline. Discipline breeds unity. Unity breeds power.
So, what happened in that village? How could something that big be so fast?
Oh, it's the bat. Oh, the NBA player, the Tyrant. Oh, this is where you face the main guy. Yeah. You're so retarded, mistake. Kinda thick though.
You're dead.
And something wondrous happened.
Yeah, it's the same shit they sold.
The virus fused with the leeches and brought me back.
Yeah, it's the same crap from the original one. Okay, so.
Excellent deduction, Jill. That was
So yeah, Umbrella Chronicles is basically what we played. Nothing too big. Okay. Before the Resident Evil incident occurred, Wesker left the past 20 years and all the events that occurred between himself and he sent it to Ada Wong, but we have no detail on her. Oh, check this out. And we have post that record here. So remember Adam? That was supposed to be like basically like his girlfriend or wife. It turns out that Ada Wong got with him. From what I read, basically, it says that Ada Wong got with Adam just to basically get close to the G virus. That's it. That's honestly it. So she basically used him just to get to the G virus, which makes sense because in 2, that's what she's looking for. Right? What a hoe.
July 31st, 1978. The first time I visited that place, it was the summer of my 18th year. That makes it about 20 years ago. As I got off the helicopter, I remembered the sight of the swirling wind the helicopter blades whipped into the air. When viewed from above, the old mansion seemed quite normal. But when seen from the ground, there was something foreboding and unapproachable about it. Birkin, my junior by 2 years, seemed as usual to be only concerned with the document he was holding. We were assigned to the mansion 2 days earlier, on the day that the executive training center we had belonged to was closed. It all seemed like it was planned, too much of a coincidence. But probably the only person who knew the real truth was Spencer. Spencer was one of the main guys in charge of America's T-virus research at the Arklay Research Facility. As soon as we got off the helicopter, the head of the facility was standing in front of the elevator, ready to greet us. I can't even remember the guy's name. Who really cares about formalities and figureheads like him? From that day on,
Oh, remember
the
that
Artley
picture?
Research Center was
That's
ours.
from 1, I think.
As chief researchers, we were put completely in charge of all aspects of the facility. Of course, that is just how Spencer had planned it all out. He chose us. We ignored the facility head and got on the elevator. I had already memorized the building layout the day before, and Birkin, although he has no bad intentions, never really pays much attention to other people.
Interesting.
Most people probably get pretty irked from the first 5 seconds that they meet us. However, the facility head had no reaction at all. But then, I was a young buck, completely full of himself, so I didn't really pay the facility head any mind. But in the end, I was really only Spencer's puppet. And the facility head, whose boss was Spencer, at least actually knew what Spencer was up to and what he was thinking.
This
Can
is
you
how
hear
you
it?
order all this delivery food.
Can you hear it, Mistake? Let me know if you can hear it, bro. I'm not sure if you can hear it.
The whole time we were riding in the elevator,
Sure.
Birkin never took his eye off the documents he was holding. The document that Birkin was scrutinizing so closely was a report
Ebola virus.
about a
Look at
new
that.
virus that has shown up in Africa. It was called Ebola. At this moment, there were many people all throughout the world who were studying the Ebola virus.
Oh, that's interesting as shit.
However,
That's kind of
I
scary.
think there were 2 major reasons why they were studying it. To help people and to kill them. As you probably know,
I remember
the
that
death
picture.
rate of someone affected by Ebola is 90%.
Jesus.
In 10 days, it quickly destroys a person's organs. Even now, there are no known ways to prevent it or cure it. It could, quite
Oh my
possibly,
god.
destroy a large part of the human race. Of course, even
Interesting.
before this, due to the Biological Weapons Prohibition Pact, it was illegal for us to study the virus as a weapon. However, even if we weren't the ones to research it, there was no proof that someone else wouldn't be doing that same thing. And so it was considered legal for us to research it, just in case. There is a thin line in international law between what is acceptable and what is prohibited. And so, it became necessary to research how the virus study information would be used as a method of prevention, not as a weapon. There really is no difference in the way in which you research a virus as a cure from how you research it as a weapon. But since the two are very similar, it is possible to pretend you are researching a cure, while in fact, be researching the virus as a weapon. Even though at that time, for whatever reason, Birkin may have been looking at the Ebola report, he wasn't really researching the Ebola virus. The Ebola virus had too many weak spots. First of all, the virus could only survive for a few days, if not inside a human body. It would soon die if under sunlight, ultraviolet light, for too long. Secondly, since it kills the host too quickly, there isn't enough time to transfer, infect other hosts. Finally, the virus is only transferable through direct touch, and so it can be easily prevented. Try to imagine the following. If a person who was heavily infected, the disease had spread all throughout their body, could actually stand and walk around, and without knowing it, was in direct contact with other people of their own accord. What if the RNA of the Ebola virus could actually alter a person's genetic code? And if, through that, a person was able to carry the virus without dying? What if this person had the resilience of a monster? That is, wouldn't this person be a living dead whose body carried the virus?
The best RPG.
Something that could infect others, sort of like a living biological weapon.
Ah, makes sense.
I guess we are lucky that the Ebola virus doesn't have the potential to do such things. I wonder if we will be successful in holding out to such a virus without it getting into the wrong person's hands. The Arclay lab, headed up by Spencer, was built for that purpose, it seemed. To create a disease capable of the characteristics I listed before. Officially, it was just a pharmaceutical company researching cures to viruses. But the truth is, it was really a factory for manufacturing biological weapons. The origin of the company was to create new starter viruses by recombining genes. In order to produce biological weapons out of these new starter viruses, they began studying virus mutations in order to strengthen the basic viruses they had created. This was known as the T-virus experiment.
Yes, sir.
RNA-based starter viruses can easily be mutated. Through those mutations, it is possible to strengthen their traits. The reason Birkin was so interested in the Ebola virus was that he was thinking of recombining the Ebola genes into a starter virus to strengthen its attributes. By the time we had arrived at the research center, there was already a sample of the Ebola virus waiting for us. We changed elevators several times, finally reached the upper level of the complex.
Oh, that's the
When we arrived,
laboratory. And
even
run.
Birkin looked up. It was the first time we had met her. We hadn't heard a single word about her before. She was a secret of the utmost confidentiality at the research center, and they didn't let any information about her out of the compound. According to the records, she was at the research center from the very moment it was first built. She was 25.
Ah.
But we didn't know her name, nor why she was here. She was to be used as the experimental subject host for the T-virus.
Yes, the mother and the daughter.
The day we began the experiment was November 10th,
Oh, shit.
1967.
That's crazy.
We did T-virus experiments on her for all of 11 years.
Writing's not
What
that
the
easy.
fuck? 11 years, dude? That is wild.
Birkin mumbled something. Maybe they were words cursing our situation. Maybe they were words of praise. In any case, we had come to the point of no return now. We had two choices: to succeed in our research, or to lay here rotting like she was. Of course, that meant we really only had one choice. She was bound to a pipe bed, and something about her made me think, had this been a part of Spencer's plan all along?
You said you faced him before, huh?
There's Leon.
This is my first mission with Krauser. He's a soldier with the U.S. Special Operations Command, and has quite the resume of a
Oh, would you look at that? Now I want to play this. Would you look at that? Oh, this shit gets juicy. Oh, shit. Would you look at that? I didn't know this. This was a thing. Okay. So we see this is basically before Resident Evil 4. This is, yeah, that's the one we kill and on top of the thing. Yes. Interesting. So this basically tells you the story of
accomplishments in the field. But to him, after all he's been through, BOWs, cryptid, they're all the same.
Our guide is in a village up ahead. He'll take us to Empire, where Javier is hiding out.
Pretty quiet around here.
Where then? And then it's Javier. I was gonna say it's Africa, but no.
The local authorities are warning parents to be cautious.
It's more than left.
Yeah, what?
Something's not right with this guy.
Didn't see that coming. So this is what Umbrella's virus can do, huh?
Interesting. So there's that. This is a basically a side of Leon.
Are you kidding me? Get down!
Imperfect Foods rescues foods that grocery stores don't want, like these surplus coffee beans, ugly produce.
Move!
A long time ago, mistake. I did it a long time ago.
If my brother taught me would work. Around here.
Resident Evil 2, so you played again.
Signal on this shelter.
I missed that faggot.
She'd been.
I'll go get Sharon. I got scared, didn't I?
Oh, but this is the one that's non-canon.
You don't have to tell me.
Oh, but you do play Claire and Steve. You do play the Chronicles, yeah.
Must be.
Track.
It's still not opening.
No.
We fight this.
Makes sense. Okay, so basically, Dark Side Chronicles is Leon, and the other guy's story of how they were when they first finally went to. Basically, what he said about him, saying that he was such a good guy and he didn't want us to do with Umbrella, and he wanted to destroy it. Now he joins it. Yeah, da 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 da. He's doing some Naruto shit. You're so retarded. And then it goes to Leon and Claire, which is Resident Evil 2. Then it goes to Code Veronica. Yeah, and then it goes to 4, which makes sense. Okay.
Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in a remote village in the Caucasus region of Russia. The villagers there are making noise that a legendary monster, Olmus, has been revived.
Los plagas.
The disastrous scene easily reminds me of the first bizarre incidents in Raccoon Forest. There's an old chemical plant 3 kilometers from the village that was built during the Soviet Union era. And according to the investigation, the property rights have now transferred
Oh no, I
to
think that's Code
prestigious
Veronica.
European noble family. It seems foreign capital was invested 5 years ago, and a large-scale underground development was conducted. According to geological surveys, there's a solid bedrock that is perfect to construct a certain kind of facility on. It seems the crossword's somehow been solved. Umbrella has boldly survived for the 5 years since Raccoon's annihilation. Held responsible for the virus leak, and in spite of a plunge in their stock prices, they campaigned at the trial that it was all a U.S. government conspiracy, and succeeded in buying time until the final death sentence. It was fortunate for Umbrella that they had colluded with the government from the very beginning. Naturally, the nation has secrets just like anyone else if it cleared the dust, and their survival tactics were to stir up public doubt by selling them in pieces to the court and the media. That which is called madness exists in varying degrees, and lurks even in people, organizations, and nations. However, Umbrella was the most mad in that incident. The foolish Umbrella is showing signs of a revival. BOWs are beginning to go rampant in conflict regions. The BOWs are being supplied as weapons. Umbrella has organized itself under the surface and established a system to produce bioorganic weapons, and information has come in that they operate ships for transportation. It's time. They fidget with a T-virus, create mutant organisms and sell them. Even if a certain amount of results were to appear, their imagination, which merely trifles with the virus as a medium for bioorganic weapons manufacture, will give themselves away again someday. The Philosopher's Stone belongs in the hands of a truly worthy alchemist. Those inept should withdraw in silence. Without a doubt, here will become the place of Umbrella's demise.
Okay, now we find that Revelation. See, so looks like Revelation was before 4 and after 4, which makes sense. We also have Jessica's report, which definitely want to output name so I can make. So Revelations is next. Yeah, that's what we have to play next after 4. So we don't have to play 5. From there, we have the diary, and this is the movie. That's the movie. And then it's 5. That makes sense. That actually makes perfect sense. And then we have to play 5, and then we play Revelations 2 again. And then it's 6. Okay. Ready? Chris' story and Jake's story are the most important parts from Resident Evil 6. That's pretty weird. Check out this game. It's PS4? No fucking way. But that's not what I read. Fuck, I fucked up. Oh, have you heard of this game, Mistake?
Your orders. Kill them all.
Kill anything that moves. That'll make you more popular. Stay sharp. Focus.
Huh. It is for PS4. What the fuck? I didn't know that. INGT? The fuck does that mean? Huh. Oops.
It's survival of the fittest. Or something like that, right?
Right. What in the fucking seed shit is this? All right. Oh, las placas. Right? Interesting. Wow. That's really interesting. Wow, that's crazy. What the fuck? Fucking go X game mode?